The 2014 World Cup hosts play Peru on Sunday for their first Group C fixture in the Copa America. Here now on the line is Lee Phelps, William Hill's in-play radio host. He's going to preview the match with us today and give us his top tips. Now, Brazil were the favourites to win the World Cup, but ended up in 4th place. So I think they'll be kind of gunning for this title. What do you make of their chances?
Yeah, good. Very good. I mean, you talk to and read, people who are out there. And after, I don't know what it must have been like in Brazil after what happened at the World Cup, because I kind of count myself a little bit responsible, because I went out there, I was lucky enough to go out there, it was unbelievable. I went out there for 3 weeks and came home just as the quarterfinals started. And it was like, being there, it was incredible. Being on, on the beach on the Copacabana when Brazil were playing, watching it on a big screen, it was like something else, something I'll never ever replicate, I'm sure, in my life. And then I thought to myself when I was there, what would happen if Brazil got knocked out? Then not only did they get knocked out, but they got humiliated. I don't know what the country must have been like. So ever since that, when I've spoken to people out there, and people I know who still cover the game out there, they've said that Brazil are it's almost an obsession of theirs not to concede goals now. If they can not concede a goal, that's great. Obviously, like scoring goals as well. But and you can kind of understand that, can't you? Because of what happened to them, in the World Cup. That defensive embarrassment, and I think twinned with that is kind of what you said, Natalie, that they will be absolutely desperate to win this now. I think it's not the biggest title in the world, obviously, but just to kind of say to everyone, that was just a horrible blip. That something happened to us. We lost ourselves somehow. We're back now. This is where we are. And I think starting with Peru, I think it's a good start for them. I don't think Peru are fantastic goal scorers, and I think Brazil can do this and win it to 0. I mean, they've won the last 3 games, all friendlies to 0. They beat Chile 1-0, they beat Mexico 2-0, beat Honduras by a goal to 0. You maybe thought they might have beaten Honduras by more than that, but it's almost like they're comfortable just winning to 0 now. They don't have to score 4 or 5 goals. It's almost safety first, and with the quality they've got up front, the likes of Neymar and others, they've got that skill that they can score goals. So, yeah, I think it's going to be maybe a slightly different Brazil that we see here.
Yeah, interesting. Well, Peru barely made it out of their group in the 2013 Copa America, but obviously they finished in 3rd place. They're now facing a strong team. How do you rate their chances in this match?
Yeah, I mean, they drew 1-1 with Mexico, didn't they? They won 1 and lost 1 against Paraguay as well. I think they won 1 at home and lost 2-1 away. They were beaten 3-0 by Chile, and if Brazil beat Chile 1-0, I like to look at collateral form. It doesn't always work out, but when the games are played in a similar kind of time frame, I think that shows us that they're not quite at the level of a Chile. Now, if they're not at the level of a Chile and they're being beaten 3-0, then I think Brazil will be too good for them. Whether Brazil match that scoreline, I'm not quite sure. I was looking at Brazil to win in over 2.5 goals, but I think I need Brazil to score all 3 there. I don't see Peru scoring against Brazil just because of this obsession with not scoring, that safety first element almost. So, yeah, I'm stuck. I wouldn't be surprised to see Brazil win 3-0, maybe with a late goal, a late goal where the game's almost over. But yeah, I'm probably hedging for the under 2.5 rather than the over 2.5 here.
Also, both teams to score no has the lower odds, 1.75 to compare to 2. Interestingly, though, the over is very low, 1.55, so that does present some value there for the under, which is 2.5 at William Hill.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I went for it in the end. It's a tricky one. It's almost a toss of a coin, I guess. But when the unders is a price like that, then I think you've got to take it.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the winners market quickly. Brazil, 1.25, Bet365. The draw is 6, William Hill, and Peru is 13, William Hill. Would you combine, say, the Brazil win with the under to really sort of increase your odds there? Probably takes it over to the maybe around the 3 mark?
Yeah, that's another one I looked at. I think that's a very nice bet. The 2 bets that I was kind of looking at was the Brazil win and under 2.5, or the Brazil win to 0, if I can say it properly. And I think I'm always a little bit concerned about the win to 0 play net. I've already played it in one of our previews, and I just a fluke goal or an own goal or something an unbelievable free kick from the opposition. it's quite easy for it to hurt you. Obviously, that would also kill the under 2.5 as well. So it's a bit of a toss-up. I mean, I looked at both prices. The Brazil win to nil is a shorter price than the Brazil and under 2.5 goals. So in the end, that's the one I went with, the Brazil to win and under 2.5 goals. It's 13-5, which I think is a fair price. Actually, I think it's quite a big price, especially compared to the win to nil price there. Obviously, you've got more on your side with the win to nil. They can win 3-0 or 4-0 if they really get going. But I think it'll be safety first, get the win. I think the manager's message here, and we know the manager's he was a dogged player. He was a kind of a player who would make sure the basics were done first. So I think we will see a more careful Brazil. And I think they'll know they get a goal. Don't have to go crazy. They can win a game 1-0 just as well as winning it 4-0 and then risk conceding 2 goals in the process. So, yeah, I'll stick with that one. Brazil and under 2.5 goals and trust that they're a different team. 3.6 it is, so decent.
All right, great stuff. Thank you for joining us, Lee.
No problem.